We need to talk about something quite pressing, something quite important that happens on Wednesdays on BBC One that we all... to be honest, I get excited about this around Monday. I wish it was on a Monday. I feel like it should be better on a Monday. Don't you think?
I think they used to be on a Monday and they're trying out different days.
Yeah.
This obviously is just on a Wednesday, this series.
Mm-hmm. Well, Great British Bake Off.
I don't think it's ever been on a Monday. It was on a Tuesday.
There you go, different times.
Different times. There you go. I'd like Monday night telly's rubbish. Nothing on. Great British Bake Off Monday, please.
Double curry.
Oh, double curry, DC. But it's on tonight, 8 o'clock on BBC One. Great British Bake Off is going to be on tonight. And we have been talking about how we're obsessed with these puns. We got a shout out last week, and people at BBC One are obsessed with a baking pun when talking about the Great British Bake Off.
For Operation Wild, this is where BBC One becomes BBC Bun. New home of the Great British Bake Off. We're having our cake and eating it.
We get it, it's about cakes. It's called the Great British Bake Off. We know it's about cakes.
Constructing tasty 3D biscuit scenes will they crack under the pressure. Bake Off next on BBC One.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I love Great British Bake Off. I really enjoy it. I think I prefer them intros to the actual show. It's like my highlight.
In an hour, we're in South Africa with Operation Wild. Now on BBC One, some tea and bicky telly. Hashtag GBBO. For week 2's batch, it's crunch time.
Oh, so many in there.
So good.
This week's batch,
Bicky.
crunch time.
Bicky. That's the type of thing your gran says. Oh,
Bicky.
like a Bicky.
We had a Bicky rant last week, didn't we? Last Wednesday. And then everyone went mad saying, oh, you got about abbreviations, Grimmy. Yeah, sorry. Last week on Great British Bake Off, because we love the puns so much, we actually got a shout out.
First on BBC One, can they rise to the challenge of creating continental cakes? And a pun, just for Grimmy at Radio 1, no baking powder is the yeast of their worries.
Hey, see that?
Made it.
And yeast, do you get that? Do you get that? Well, of course, Bake Off back on tonight, 8 o'clock, BBC One, but exciting news. We've been asked to provide the pun for tonight on BBC One. So the intro, before the Great British Bake Off, we can decide. That's exciting.
This is so exciting.
This is exciting, isn't it? But we thought maybe we should let someone listening decide. So if you've got a good baking pun that you would like the man to say on the telly tonight to introduce the Great British Bake Off, then text us now with a good intro, 81199. Ian, have you got any good ideas of what could happen tonight before the Great British Bake Off?
What's the theme tonight? Do we know, Fee?
Yeah, we know.
We know the theme tonight is about pasties, so they're going to go a bit savoury. They're going to do a Wellington. Love a Wellington. They're going to do a Wellington tonight. That's going to go on. And then they've got also eclairs.
Okay.
Do you, you don't have to have the theme in. It can just be any baking.
Okay. I have a feeling... And this has just come to me now, so I don't know if it's going to work or not. But they'll say something like...
Oh, hang on. I'll give you the intro.
Okay, thanks. And now on BBC One, it's Great British Bake Off, and 9 contestants become 8. But who's going to go? That's on a need-to-know basis.
Yeah!
Oh, that's good.
That is good. Need to know. Needing. That one's good. Matty, would you like to give it a go?
I'll give it a go. I can't do a pun, but something's come to mind. Now on BBC One. Oh, what am I supposed to say?
British Bake Off.
Okay. Now on BBC One, let's hope there aren't any nasty pasties in tonight's edition of Great British Bake Off.
Because it's a pasty special.
That was rubbish.
Yeah. So Paul Hollywood's not a nasty pasty. Something like that could be quite good. Would you like to give it a go, Fiona?
Okay, go on then.
Oh, God, here we go.
And tonight on BBC One at 8 o'clock, just coming up right now, we had the Great British Bake Off.
No, that was rubbish. Do it again.
I'll just get on with the pun.
No, do it again. Go on. Do your best BBC voice.
Okay. Oh, welcome to BBC One. In a minute, we have the Great British Bake Off. And tonight, I hope you're not feeling too pasty for all the cakes, because we're making pasty. Oh! Sorry. You try.
It's hard, actually. It is hard.
It is hard.
Pressure, man. It's pressure.
It's pressure. I can't do it under pressure. Diane's been on in Northern Ireland. Coming up on BBC One, DIY SOS. But right now, it's time for the Great British Bake Off, and who's going to rise to the occasion? That's a nice one.
Very good.
Diane.
We've had that one
That's
before.
nice. Oh, yes, that
And
one.
it's the best night because you have got DIY SOS and then Great British Bake Off.
I love DIY SOS.
So good. I'm so sorry, but it's so good.
I love Nick Knowles.
Always crying.
Changing people's lives. What a man.
There's a good one here from Anonymous.
Yep.
And now on BBC One.
Excuse me, Trail DIY SOS.
Oh, sorry. Coming up in the next hour, DIY SOS.
No, DIY SOS has been on.
Well,
Oh, for
7
goodness
till 8.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Nick
What
Knowles.
about the one show?
right. So,
Okay.
Do you know what? Who cares? This is a good pun. All right. And now, strictly on a need-to-know basis, the Great British Bake Off.
He just did that need-to-know basis.
Did you?
No, I said, he said need to dough. I said need
okay.
to know.
Hang on, Nick has got a good one. Nick's been on in Thrapston. Now it's time for the Great British Bake Off. Tonight on the menu, eclairs. We wouldn't want to be in there. Shoe.
oh, yeah, Stu Page. Oh.
Very good.
That one's good. That one's good. That one's very good.
And also, it's Fake Britain as well before Great British Bake Off.
Oh, Fake Britain. What's Fake Britain?
That's the one with, what's his chops?
Oh, yeah.
Ian Wright. What's his name? Mark Wright.
Mark Wright
That's the one.
from Towie.
No, what's he called? Matt, it says it's Matt Allright tonight.
All right, Fake Britain. What's
Yeah,
that?
that's good, that.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll keep those coming in, please. 81199. Any suggestions? And then we've got to send in a few, haven't we, to BBC One? We'll send in 3. We'll send in the 3 best ones. Should we give people a cut-off time? What should we say?
Well,
9:15?
yeah, we'll keep doing it in the next half hour, yeah.
Okay. So keep them coming in, please. 81199. Quite like Crumble's a good one. Claire saying, now let's get to the crust of it. That one's good. 81199. If you want your pun to be on BBC One tonight, then text us now and it could be on the telly before the Great British Bake Off. Thank you for all the text coming in, please, and all the suggestions for puns tonight. Great British Bake Off Day, of course, 8 o'clock, BBC One. And the intro has been handed over to us. That is our responsibility tonight. We can do that awful baking pun tonight. And people are sending in some great suggestions. Morning to Alex. This might be my favourite one. That was Fake Britain there on Radio 1. Now it's time for the Great British Bake Off, and it's eyes on the pies as we head to the quarterfinals. It's good, that one, isn't it? And also it's a savoury week, so the pies is right.
So good.
Yeah. Rob has got one. On the way, Crime Watch. But now it's time for the Great British Bake Off, and who's going to get the Wellington boot from the show tonight? Another one? Because they're doing a beef Wellington. But you might not know that until you've watched it.
That's true.
You'd be
That's
like,
a good
Wellington boot?
Could be confusing.
Don't like that one. J-Mo. Here we go. This one's good. J-Mo in Bedford. On BBC One now is the Great British Bake Off. Who's gonna philo the pressure? Oh, it's good, J-Mo. That one is good. Okay, here we go. I've got another one. Sean in Nottingham. Now on BBC One, time to savoury the moment. It's time for the Great British Bake Off. Savoury week.
That's good.
Yeah,
That is
good.
Hey, Fern's texted me. She's got one.
All right, come on.
Coming up on BBC One, Who Do You Think You Are? Starring Matt Fincham. But now at 8 o'clock, it's time for the Great British Bake Off. And enjoy the series before it's gone.
Oh, very good. Well
Yes, Fern. Well done,
FC.
Fern. That is good. That is good. I don't think we should enter Fern's, though, because I feel like she's at a slight advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been on the telly, hasn't she? Probably not asked. But keep those coming in, please. 81199. We are going to decide the intro, the pun intro to the Great British Bake Off tonight, and it could be you. Right, tonight on BBC One, the Great British Bake Off is going to be back on the telly. 8 o'clock, BBC One, and the Great British Bake Off is on. Don't know why I love this show, but I really do. It makes me so happy. Tonight from 8 o'clock. Now, before the show starts, there's always a pun in the intro. The man will come on, and the man will say, oh, coming up next on BBC One, here's EastEnders. But before Great British Bake Off, he has to say something like this.
Now, before Operation Wild, this is where BBC One becomes BBC Bun.
Oh. So we've been getting people to send in suggestions, because tonight, BBC One have asked us to come up with a pun. So, I mean, the text has gone off the hook. It's crazy, isn't it, the text this morning? We've got a good list. I've got a short list. So Ian, Matt and Fiona, if you just give me your natural reaction and then we'll put some of these forward, one will be decided by BBC bosses tonight. I nearly called them BBC Lords. They're not Lords. The Lords of the BBC will decide tonight, just before 8. So we've had Alex from Cambridge. He said this. It's eyes on the pies as we head to the quarterfinals. So we like that one. Yep. That one is good. Solid. Rob, we liked already. Who's going to get the Wellington boot from the show tonight? Because tonight they're doing a Wellington. But that does prove a problem, in that if you don't know they're doing a Wellington, you think, what's that man on about?
Prove a problem's good as well.
Prove?
You have to prove, Kate.
Oh, do you? Okay. Don't know that one. I like J-Mo from Bedford. Philo in the Pressure. That's in my shortlist to send to the BBC bosses. Hello to Jazz, who says, who will crumble under the pressure? Whose performance will be flaky, but ultimately rise to the occasion and be a shoo-in for the quarterfinals?
I mean, that's got him all.
It's quite full on, that one, isn't it? Yeah. Alva, has been on, saying, what a great show tonight. You do not want to miss it.
That's good.
Like donuts. You see that? Like, do not. Kerry says, now on BBC One, it's time to keep up with current affairs.
Yes. Yes.
That one is good. Simon, stuck in traffic on the M6, says, who's gone pasty their sell-by date and has got to go on to tonight's Great British Bake Off?
That's my favourite. That is my absolute favourite.
That one? Got to go on. Like, got to. Great. Now on BBC One, it's time to savoury the moment. It's time for the Great British Bake Off. That's Sean in Nottingham.
That's simple but great.
It's good because it's savoury night tonight. Savoury week, a big night. Jasmine says, let's hope the cooks make some lovely pasties, or they will need to leave much room for improvement.
That's good.
They're good, aren't they? Well, what we do is we've got loads. We've got so many. We're going to send them to BBC One, and then BBC One will decide which one it is. So watch it tonight, 8 o'clock, BBC One. In fact, tune in from 7:58, just in case. Because you want to see if your pun has made it onto BBC One tonight. By the way, we had some more great puns coming in, but I think we're done now.
We're collating the best ones. We're going to send them off to BBC One tonight.
Yeah. Can I read that really good one out about Mary Berry and Paul Hollywood?
No.
No?
No, because I'm not sure about the stuff. It's a bit saucy.
Saucy.
It's about Mary's buns.
Exactly.
No? She's a baker. I'm talking about her buns she's making.
No.
No? But Paul rising because he's baking.
Well, you've done it now.
No. Thank you, Joe Milton Keynes, for that one. Now, we got a shout-out last week on BBC One before Great British Bake Off. Actually got a shout-out.
First on BBC One, can they rise to the challenge of creating continental cakes? And a pun, just for Grimmy at Radio 1, no baking powder is the yeast of their worries.
See, it's good. So they know we like it. So they asked us to come up with the pun for last night's episode. So we got people to text in yesterday. We sent the best ones over to BBC One. And it happened. I don't know if you were watching last night, but it actually happened. We have Jez. Morning, Jez.
Morning, Grimmy.
Morning, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Oh, very good today. Talk to me about last night on BBC One.
Well, I actually missed it because I was running a boot camp in the evening, but I know.
Jesus.
But I've recorded it. I
Okay.
recorded it and watched it back.
Okay, good.
And I just couldn't stop laughing.
It's so good. So we got, seriously, Jez, thousands of texts yesterday of people with baking puns. I think we did it about this time, didn't we? For about half an hour yesterday.
Yeah.
And we had texts like all through till 10 o'clock, like thousands. People were really into this. But Jez, you sent in a very good one.
Well, thank you.
It was very good.
Some people said it was awful.
Well, they're meant to. They're sort of like yum yuck, aren't they? We love them, but we hate them. So last night, the BBC One bosses decided that Jez, they loved your pun. So have a listen to this. If you missed it, this is the intro to Great British Bake Off last night.
Now on BBC One, Pastry Week in Bake Off. Who'll crumble under the pressure? Whose performance will be flaky? And who'll ultimately rise to the occasion and be a shoo-in for the quarter-finals?
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, fire!
You just get on a bit of a roll, don't you? Oh, sorry.
Oh, God, a bit of a Swiss roll. Well, Jez, thanks for doing that. That was wonderful.
Brilliant.
You've got a future there at BBC One.
Oh, I don't think so. I think I'll stick to personal training.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. All right, Jez, have a good one.
And yourselves.
Bye, mate.
Thank you.
Bye, Jez. Bye-bye. I can't believe that after that, the most epic of puns, missed it. Down the park training people.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty funny, isn't it? Yeah, I love that.
It's pretty cool that they're letting us do this as well.
I know, I feel like it's
gonna BBC One at some point going to be like,
we're over this. Is the actual boss of BBC One off or something? I feel like this is...
I think she's on leave.
Yeah, it's a bit unruly. It's all a bit substitute teacher, isn't it? Oh, she, of course,
she,
yeah. He? She?
I don't know.
Don't know. Whatever. Employ me. Yeah. Right, we're going to do show quizness, but first, Gorgon City, Unmissable.